and welcome back to another episode of Sofubi Sit Down. Forgive me, I am a little bit caffeinated right now because we just finished our live stream of Coffee and Kaiju, which we discussed Son of Godzilla, the movie and the collectibles based on Son of Godzilla, which is why you see some of these Son of Godzilla items off to the side here behind me. So that was fun. Check that out. That's a bi-weekly show that I do with Mr. Fresh Vinyl Rich Iso and Mike Russo of the Godzilla Collectors Group, and it's pretty cool, and the link to that is in the description. While you're clicking things, you can also click the like and subscribe button. That'd be cool. But today, we are not talking about Son of Godzilla. We are going to talk about the brand new Bandai movie monster series figure, just released, just arrived at my house 2 days ago. Bagan. Yeah, buddy. Who is Bagan, you may be asking? Well, Bagan is a creature that was originally appeared in Toho scripts, I want to say in the early 80s, mid-80s. He was in the original Return of Godzilla script. He was going to fight Mothra in a 90s movie. He was going to fight Godzilla in a 90s movie. He's been in a few things. There's a whole Wiki Zilla entry on him. So you can do all your Baganing and learn all about this unmade kaiju. I do think he eventually probably more or less morphed into Destroyer. So, but yeah, he's never been in an actual movie, although he was in the Godzilla Super Nintendo game as the final boss that you fight in that game, if you were patient enough to get that far, which I never was. Also, if you want to learn more about Bagan or other unmade kaiju films, check out the awesome series of books by John LeMay, Japanese Monsters Unmade. It is full of cool unmade kaiju movies, kaiju ideas, kaiju scripts, all kinds of neat stuff in here throughout. This is volume 1, which goes from 1927 to 1965. Then there's one that goes from that point to modern times. Great books. They're really fun, enjoyable reads, so check those out. Now, though, let's check him out. Bagan. Oh boy, it's Bagan. So he's a pretty cool monster. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming this is based on, pre-production drawings and concept art, which of course is all out there to look at online and things. So you get a general idea based on the card here. And then, there's Bagan. That's the card. It says 2023 Bagan. Inside the card is your normal inside the card. You cannot call customer service from outside Japan and complain about your Bagan. You can't be like, my Bagan's broke, because they won't care. They'll be like, listen, sucks to be you, guy. The back of the card is pretty much what we've seen for these movie monster series cards. It's got like a silhouette of the back of Bagan, I guess, for lack of a better term. Bagan got back. So let's look at this chumpy, shall we? The head of Bagan. I do like it. I like the sculpt of this guy. And again, this is an unmade kaiju. It's not the only unmade kaiju in the Toho pantheon. So it's fun that Bandai decided to do this. There is a kind of cult following for this guy, or there was. For a while there, it was like every movie announcement was like, oh, Bagan is going to be in this movie. No, spoilers, Bagan's not in any of these movies. Maybe someday, but I kind of doubt it at this point. Maybe, who knows? I could see him being a Monsterverse monster at this point, more than a Toho monster. But the head on this guy is actually pretty cool. I do like the horns. He kind of looks like the devil in that movie Legend, that old Tom Cruise movie from way back in the day when I was a wee lad. But yeah, the horns are cool. The horn on the front The snout is very reminiscent of the horn that Destroya ended up using. Really cool sculpt. The teeth painted nice red inside the mouth. The eyes are a nice painted red. You've got a nice little bit of dry brushing or a wash under the eyes, which is cool, and around the horns, which is nice. Horns are painted. All of the horns are painted this sort of gold going into gray. Black. Well, I can talk. Black going into a gray. The underneath of the horn has this sort of red flesh tone and sculpt, which kind of carries throughout the figure. So, again, this guy's never been in a movie. There's only ever been some pre-production art or things like that. I assume this critter would be armored, except for the parts that aren't armored, which is his entire underbelly, which seems that would be a weakness for him. It seems like you'd want that armored. He's also got some frills with what appear to be some spines on the side of the head. That's pretty nice. Under the horn, you've got wrinkles sculpted in. I mean, this guy's really well sculpted. And maybe, they kind of went above and beyond with the detailing because they kind of had free reign to do whatever. With a monster that never appeared on screen, so they could sort of play around with it more. But you see they got like ridges under his horn. He's got almost like bags and ridges under his eyes. His eyebrows are really nicely sculpted. I love the head sculpt on this. I really do. The back of the head is sort of that Ankylosaurus sort of a shell armor plating. Really impressive. Cool figure, honestly. So that's the head, and I do like it a lot. I think that is a cool head sculpt. Carrying on the theme of the Godzilla maquette I reviewed, there is some visible glue on the seams, especially around here where I assume these are wings. Maybe they turn into wings. Whatever these large these large horn protuberances, whatever these are, there's some glue on them. Cool sculpt on these. Inside you have these blue, I don't know what they would be. I would assume, being a more 90s styled monster, that they would probably shoot some sort of insane beams out of them, because everything in those 90s movies shot beams out of every orifice, it seemed like. So I would assume that's what that is on those. Again, some glue right there. Again, nice sculpt inside. I like it. I think it looks cool. I don't know what they're exactly are. I don't know if they fold out to become wings in the movie. I don't know, because the movie was never made. The arms on this guy, very nicely sculpted again. Really good, like, musculature sculpted onto it. The hands are really nicely sculpted. He's got some sort of, it looks like, armor on the top of his hand. The nails are painted, which you love to see. The arms are articulated to a point where they do move up and down. Pretty cool. Head is not articulated at all. These things are also not articulated at all on his back. I don't think that's his shoulders. They're more coming out of his back. The neck is sculpted in that, again, I'm assuming that's supposed to be his flesh, which isn't covered by armor. Sculpted nicely, painted nicely. Then it looks like on his chest you've got some armor plating here, and then you've also got that typical 90s kaiju cod piece that seemed to be kind of popular with Toho monsters of this era. The legs are cool as well. Again, it looks like the legs almost look like they're covered in almost like bones, which maybe is what his armor was supposed to be. But it's nicely sculpted, and then in between each piece of bone or armor plating or whatever this is, you have like the flesh, which almost looks like, sinewy, like muscles, which is pretty neat on there. Also painted in that sort of I guess that's an auburn type color. Carries over to the inside of the thigh. And the back of the leg, very nice. Knee pad, sculpted and painted brown. The legs are articulated, as you can see, so he can haul butt. He can't really, but you can pretend. It's your toy, you do what you want. But they do move. And then you can see here on the back of the legs, he's got more sculpt work here with the armor, again with the painted, exposed, I guess, skin, for lack of a better word. Feet look cool. He's got more, he's got a rear nail there. He's got a spiky bit there. The talons are painted on the hands and the feet. Very nice. Really impressed with the sculpt work. This back plate is a really nice bit of sculpting by Bandai. I mean, it's really well done. It's layered really well. It's got multiple pieces jutting here and there. Very cool. It would have been cool to see this guy, maybe in a future movie. I wouldn't mind seeing him in action. He's pretty neat. Tail continues armored to the end, ending in some Stegosaurus-looking weapons there at the end of his tail. Smaller spines going down the length of the tail. All in all, not gonna lie, he's pretty cool. I was on the fence with this guy because, again, like I said, he's never been in a movie. Do I really care enough? But Godzilla store, I want to say it was like $30 to buy, so I'm glad I did. All in all, it's really well done. Paint work is nice. There is a tad of a little sloppy red right there. Otherwise, it's nicely painted. It is really cool sculpt-wise. I love the head sculpt on it. It's a really cool design of a sort of like a demonic kaiju. That I can see, and look, I'm just kind of winging it. I don't know if Destroya eventually morphed into, if that's what it became. But you can see, there's a certain similarity. They both have a shorter snout. They both have that horn. Obviously, the horn for Destroya is coming off the top of his head, and this one's coming right off of his nose. So, yeah, man, he's a pretty cool kaiju. I dig him. This is a nice figure. I am glad I picked it up. Can you pick it up? I don't know, because it seems like he's pretty much long been sold out, so you're probably going to need to pay that late tax on this guy. I've seen him going from anywhere from 60, 75 bucks. Again, this was a limited release. It's shipping from Japan, so obviously the Godzilla store is not going to charge you for shipping from Japan. It's kind of, I guess, built into the price of the figure, so you can't beat the price that I paid for this guy. You're not going to get him for 30 bucks, I wouldn't imagine at this point. So just keep in mind, if you do order him from a dealer on one of the Facebook sites or on eBay or whatever, you're going to pay for that shipping from Japan, which sometimes can cost almost as much as the figure. So that's where that expense comes from. If you need a Bagan, and this is the one to get, because I don't think there's any others, not that I'm aware of. So pretty happy with him, man. He's cool. Let's do some comparisons, I suppose. And let's see. This guy came in a box with a few other items that we're going to look at down the road. The first being the Bandai Biollante Rose figure, which is a first for them as well. So that's we'll take a look at the Biollante Rose maybe in the next video. I don't know, but that's how they scale. So he's bigger than that, bigger than the flower. I also in that box got the Crawling Hedorah from Bandai, which is another first. They've never done that. So there he is. Let's switch him around so the tags aren't in the way. But yeah, there's that. And we'll probably take a look at the Crawling Hedorah too. In fact, maybe We'll look at both him and the Rose at the same time. What else we got? We got Minya. We were looking at Minya today on Coffee and Kaiju. There's the Marmot Monster Heaven Minya. So, that's that. Now, oh, you know what? Here, we got the maquette from the last review that nobody seemed to like. There it is. I told you this maquette's small, man. Since it was going to be a Mothra villain at one point, let's put him with some Mothra stuff. Here he is with the Movie Monster series Batra. So that's interesting. And man, Toho was big on the horn coming out of the top of a creature's head in the 90s. So that's that. Let's see. Here is the Movie Monster series Mothra larva. There you go. There's that. We also have and this is obviously way out of scale. The Movie Monster series Mothra butterfly moth form. So that, yeah, you know what? Maybe might have been cool. Here's the larger Mothra from the GMK set. Here, there you go. I have it on a string because I have her hanging with my GMK stuff. So she's on a wire in my collection. But there you go. Cool. And he was also at one point going to be a Godzilla villain. So here he is with the Movie Monster series Godzilla 1991. So there you go. Pretty cool. So with the the 90s Godzilla, pretty nice. I dig this figure. And here he is with a nice cold can of Hamm's. It's America's classic premium beer, born in the land of sky blue waters. Hamm's, the beer refreshing. Cool, man. Let's do final thoughts. He's cool, and I'm glad I picked him up. If you can pick him up for a price that makes you happy, then you will be happy. Only you can determine it. I think what I paid, $30, is a great price. If you can find him at that price, I would snatch him up. Anything beyond, $50 or $60 is going to be totally up to you. Is this a $50 or $60 figure? He's a pretty nice figure. He's really cool sculpt. He's decently sized. He's going to have some shelf presence. Look at that. He's actually over 6 inches, about 6.5 inches, so that's cool. Hope you can. Yeah, so nice. And, he's a pretty nice figure. So yeah, man, this is a recommend for me if you can find him. I mean, you definitely can. If you can find him at the price point that makes you happy. Let's put it that way. He's a recommend from me, though. I really like him. Quick one, I guess, today. Like I said, I'm caffeinated. Really caffeinated. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share with all your friends and family members. And I will see you next time when we probably are going to look at a few more Bandai figures. Until then, take care and check out Coffee and Kaiju. The link is in the description. Thanks. See you soon.